Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I'm taking all questions now, all question readings. So if you have a question about anything going on in your life or need some clarification with a situation going on with any aspect of your life, you can just ask me and I will draw some cards. Um, So every question is one card. I might ask for clarification for those cards. Um, so please ask away in the chat section. Um, if it really resonates with you and you really appreciate the reading, I left the link to donations here in the chat box. It's definitely not mandatory, but if you decide you want to give a donation, the link is right here in the chat. But once again, not mandatory, but I will offer that. So anyone that has a question, ask away in the chat section. Now, cards might vary for the type of question you're asking. Um, for example, certain cards of the Wands suit might be a yes for, like financial, career, and work related questions. But then when it comes to love and romance and relationships, some could be a no. And of course, with every question and every card that I draw, I will be giving the astrological energy. Um, for example, the Strength card would be Leo energy, so that would be the archetype of Leo, and Hermit. The Hermit card number 9, would be Virgo. So that's what I'll provide with you. So if you or anyone that's involved in this reading, such if you're asking about a certain person, if they have that sign, then that's great. And it makes it even stronger. But if not, that's okay too. So if you're joining me now, you can ask away any questions you have with anything going on in your life right now. All right, so I'm going to read a question from a different platform that I received. And the question is, will the United States recover from COVID-19 prior to 2021? So that's going to be our first question. So I'm going to draw a card. All right. Spirits and guides, will the United States and the rest of the world, for that matter, recover from COVID-19 prior to 2021? All right. So it's the card is the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands it's a court card, so it's more a person versus an energy, and this is good times ahead, very enthusiastic. A situation is improving. There is some impulse. There's messages and news that's going to be provided soon. So I would say this is yes. It's wands and it's not a love reading, so most likely it's a yes. There is the possible setback with the impulse problems, especially with the Page of Wands, because the Page of Wands is a young person, school age person, with lots of confidence, courage, and willpower, and they don't always know how to control those impulses. So maybe it's a situation where we're really improving later in 2020, and then everyone goes out and doesn't wear a mask and continues to have more of a reckless lifestyle as it pertains to being safe and being smart with a pandemic. So I would say Yes, there's a good chance it is going to be over before 2021, but that's if you're able to, take this serious. And that's one of the problems with the Page of Wands is it really lacks commitment and seriousness and trouble with progression. So it's a relatively positive card. And if anyone else has a question, you can ask away. And if you're just joining me now and you have any specific questions going on in your life, you can ask it in the chat box. Any questions? Please feel free to ask it. All right, and we have another question from Gary, and he is asking, will he get back together with his wife, and what does the future hold for them long term? All right, so we got a couple questions there. So how it works is we draw a card for each question, and if we need more cards, we can always draw clarification. So what is the forecast with Gary, and will he be reuniting with his ex-wife? What is the forecast for Gary and his love life, and will he be reuniting with his ex-wife? All right. Card here is the Queen of Pentacles. And so this is Earth energy. So let's look at the card. So it is all about balance and growth here, and integration of earthly matters to the higher mind. So this could be Gary's ex-wife that we're looking at here. As you can see, she's kind of down. Maybe a little boredom, but that's what she wants right now. Unfortunately, with the Pentacles, this is usually, there's going to be a lot of setbacks as far as yes or no question for love. So I would say there's a lot of challenges as far as getting back with his ex-wife. And if you are joining me, I'm just going to finish up this question, and then you can start asking questions as soon as you want, and I will get to them. Whoever asks first, I will ask that question. And here for finishing up Gary's reading, so it looks like there's going to be some challenges with getting back with your ex-wife. We're going to do a clarification card, so I'm going to draw one more card. And Queen of Swords. So this is also another difficult card, unfortunately. So once again, this is another feminine but authoritative figure. Um, this is air energy. I'm getting the feeling could be if his wife had her sun, moon, Venus, or rising sign, possibly in Aquarius or Gemini, maybe Libra, but it's going to be some air sign. And there is some love here, but as you can see, the sword is kind of taking control of the situation. So this is another difficult card. I would say both of these together, I would say, unfortunately, the answer would be a no. Since it's a love reading, we're going to draw a love oracle card. So these are similar to tarot cards, except it's more of like scenarios or archetypes for the cards, and I will give a description of each card. So this is for Gary and his ex-wife. What does the future hold? The butterfly. So relationship evolving to the next phase, healing, the inner child, and growth. So now I'm getting at with this reading for Gary is that maybe it's not the end, but there's going to be some growth and some possibly certain part of the relationship is ending, and there's going to be a renewal and a growth. There might be situations that both of these people have dealt with in the past, and now it's coming to light, and they're going to need to work through it and heal. The butterfly symbolizes, hope, renewal, very similar to the star card. So I really feel like there's some Aquarius energy here. A lot of air and Aquarius energy. So one of you people might have a good amount of Aquarius in their chart. So I would say for Gary, he just needs to stick with it. And just like this card says, part of the relationship is ending and there's going to be a renewal. All right. So anyone else, if you're just joining, you can ask any questions you would like. Just ask in the chat box below. And feel free to ask any question you like, whether it's love, health, just general question you have. If it's a love question, I can throw in the love oracle cards here. And if not, we can always just ask with the tarot cards. Every card has an astrological energy, so you can always it's always good to know your astrological chart, or at least your sun and moon and possibly rising and Venus signs. If you don't know your whole chart, that's okay, but just knowing the major planets is helpful. Because you can get a good indication if if the energy is directed at you or possibly someone else. But it's however it resonates with you. There isn't an exact science when it comes to this. So it's me providing the interpretation and you using that interpretation to decide how it resonates with you. And if anyone has, is satisfied with their reading, you can always provide a tip here. It's not mandatory. It's if you appreciate and want to give something for the readings, you can always throw in a tip there. It doesn't have to be a lot. And like I said, it's not mandatory. It's just offered if you feel it's necessary. And we'll just wait for questions for about one more minute. If you have a question and you just missed the live stream here, you can always just send me a message on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. I'd be happy to answer your question. I'm going to be trying to be doing this every night, at least for 30 minutes to an hour. May not be able to get to it every night, but that is the goal. It doesn't seem like we have any more questions. So unless anyone has a question right now, I will then, I guess I will see everyone back most likely tomorrow night. And but if you have any questions and you just missed this, please go ahead and send me a message, or you can just comment in the comment section here, because the chat box should still be open even past the live stream. So just comment what your question is, or just provide your any kind of social media username if you want to keep the question private, or send me a message on YouTube here, and I'd be happy to get back to you. All right, thanks everyone for watching.